Hey guys, we're here today to talk about Bachelor in Paradise, episode 9. Let's get right into it. We have a lot to talk about. We got 2 challenges, and we're going to cover it all. So, episode starts at the beginning, day 17 of Paradise. Bailey and Jeremy are making out incessantly, and it's absolutely disgusting to me.
You is what I have. You.
I wrote disgusting in capital letters because she's just going to forgive him and all is good, and now they're going to have their tongues down each other's throats.
Well, I hate to say I told you so, but from day one I called it. She's can be not too bright, and I didn't realize we're only on day 17. Like we're not even 3 weeks into this for these people. So, yeah, we've had the last 2 episodes have had some drama. I don't know if the drama could match. I don't know if this episode can match the drama that we've had in the previous 2.
It wasn't a dramatic episode, but I did like both the challenges. These are my favorite 2 challenges they've done.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I thought the one challenge was evil.
I loved it.
Wow.
The producers are alpha.
Okay, I thought the producers, they're like gonna wreck these people's lives.
Hey, they signed up for it.
Okay.
They could win $500,000.
Well,
I would do that challenge for
listen.
$500,000.
Or can they? We'll get to that in the end.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, but yeah, that is how they started off with Jeremy and Bailey. Bailey it does not matter what Jeremy does or has done thus far. She's just going to overlook all that because it does not matter.
Does not matter to her. Then they have a little girl chat with Hannah Brown. Bailey says that everything that's happened between her and Jeremy has made them stronger. That's the note I took from the girl chat.
I must have disassociated at that point because I don't remember. Is that what she said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when they start talking,
I cannot stand Jeremy. I can't stand that Bailey has put up with all of his crap. I can't stand.
She's equally as dumb, Sasha. I know you feel bad for Bailey, but listen, I don't know if she'll watch this back and get a awakening. Probably not.
I doubt it.
But Hannah does, she's asking him about engagements and like how they feel where they're at like that. I did think it was funny that Kat said no way, no engagement for her.
I thought that was funny too.
And then they flash back. Smart. And because they flash back to the whole John Henry thing from when she was, I believe that was also Paradise, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Alex also talked about Andrew a little bit and how they're falling for each other, and Jess talked about Spencer, and Jess kind of choked up, and yeah.
I don't think anybody really answered the question, except for Kat. I don't think anybody really answered the question of, yes, I want to be engaged. They kind of dodged the question, except for Kat, which blatantly said that's not happening.
Yeah. So then they got into a nice family dinner that they set up for them. They had to go dress up and change, and you called it. It was the calm before the storm because you knew that the producers were just about to do something evil.
You can see it a mile away. They never do something like that nice just to be nice. Like it's not a thing.
So they're having a nice time at dinner, and then they are told that they will be glamping in the woods.
Which they made it sound kind of like, for the most part, I think everybody seemed kind of excited about it.
Yeah, it sounded like it was going to be fancy, nice. And then they got there, and basically it was an area with a box full of supplies and a thing of water. And so unknowingly they have entered the next relationship test. This has been my favorite relationship test they've done so far.
Okay. So you like these 2 relationship things. I like the contest that they've done thus far. I don't know if these 2 were my favorite on this episode. Now,
this was my absolute favorite.
Okay. So we differ a little bit there, but let's jump back to dinner. I did feel okay. Kat has a phobia with bugs and flies.
Yes.
So this started at dinner. The flies, there was a bunch of flies around, and they were really bothering her. She didn't like the flies around their food. And she was swatting them away and hitting people on each side of it. So, so they did flash that, which kind of goes into the glamping thing. So they made it sound like, oh, you guys are gonna have a nice night away. You're gonna glamp, and people were like, oh, that sounds kind of fun. And then they brought them into their glamp sites, But they have to set them up. They're not set up or anything.
Yep.
She already kind of said.
They have to set them up. It's a relationship test, and unknowingly to them, they have a relationship expert watching them, taking notes, and rating their interactions.
Yeah, she's doing it like an evaluation, so she can see. They have no idea that they have a therapist creeping on them. I thought it was, like she can see them, they can't see her. They have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a little intrusive, a little invasive. Yes, I know they're on a reality show.
No, I don't think so, because if they would have known that she was there, this is them acting completely natural, thinking that nobody's watching. So this was the best way to do it.
For that part, yes. But the whole idea of somebody like watching you and judging you when you're like oblivious is a little, I think it's invasive.
She's observing.
She's creeping. She's
observing their interactions.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with it.
Creeper.
And then as they're getting into making their tent and getting their stuff all set up, the producers took pieces out that would be missing on purpose, which I thought was hilarious. They like clogged their water on purpose.
They glued the lid on. And I don't know if everybody had the same thing like Dale and Kat had.
I think they all had the same thing.
Okay, and then they purposely gave Jonathan and Leia, and maybe they all had this little tiny hammers, like they made it a problem to see so that this therapist can evaluate them working through these problems.
And each couple had a broken chair. So the therapist commented on, it's interesting to see who takes the broken chair.
Right.
Of course, Bailey took the broken chair because Jeremy is way too good to sit on a broken chair. And Bailey says, it's fine, I'll sit on it.
She'll sit in the broken one, which is typical. Were you surprised?
No.
I didn't hear one word out of his mouth like, oh, are you sure? Or I can take the broken chair. She just took the broken chair because that's what she's going to do in this relationship. She'll take the broken chair.
She will serve him.
Yeah.
Keith and Kathy got their stuff up good. They worked good together. I think Keith was doing most of the work. Kathy was back there drinking.
I think Keith did all the work, but he didn't seem to mind. Kathy he didn't seem to mind.
She had her bottle of wine, and they were content with that.
Yep, and I don't even think they, or at least I don't remember them showing them any kind of argument or anything.
Jonathan and Leia worked good together. Leia commented that Jonathan could use more deodorant. We thought that was hilarious.
She said it in a nice way, though. It made me laugh.
Yeah. Jeremy, in his interview, I have some direct quotes from Jeremy per usual. I've never slept in a tent, but I've stayed in a pre-made one in Peru and slept on the cement floor in Guatemala. Cool, Jeremy. You're so cool.
He made a point to say he's never put up a tent, but he has slept in a pre-made one. I don't know what that has anything to do with putting up a tent.
He has issues. He cannot be wrong or like inexperienced at anything. He has to, in his mind, he has to know all, be all. What he says is right. What he does is right. That's the kind of personality he has.
Yeah, I meant to say this on a previous podcast earlier when he was the whole thing with Susie when that was going on.
Yeah,
you can tell he's the type of person like he rebounds hard after like a relationship.
Oh yes,
he's a hard rebounder where he has to feel needed or wanted, and he has to work off that rejection. He'll rebound hard.
Yes,
and so
red flags.
Yeah, and listen, the stomach tuft is still going strong,
front and center.
Front and center, still sunburnt, still shaved everywhere except for a strip that he thinks is attractive.
His reverse happy trail up his stomach. Yeah.
There's nothing attractive going on there with his attitude.
You know what? Looks. I don't even feel bad making fun of your tuft and your sunburn because your personality is worse than all of it. So there's that. I just can't stand Jeremy. What else did we have?
Well, listen, this is why Bailey and Jeremy's relationship has worked thus far, is because she's a people pleaser. She'll sit in the broken chair. She'll vote how Jeremy votes.
She always votes how Jeremy votes.
You know what? He just tells her what she wants to hear. He was talking to Susie. He wants to be engaged to Susie. He's going to propose to Susie. He's going to call Susie. That's okay.
Well, and here's the deal. Bailey hates camping. This was her personal nightmare. She said it repeatedly. So what does Jeremy do? He has her sit in the broken chair.
Yeah, that'll help things, Jeremy. But you know what, Bailey? You're
and
doing
then he
it, so
gives
you're
her a
just
kiss
dumb.
as if that fixes all of it. And then she's like, "Oh, you're making it better." I don't know if you caught that part.
I did catch that part. I try to.
Okay, moving on to the other couples. Alex is sitting in the broken chair, but Andrew fixes it for her, calls it ghetto physics. We thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Was that him? Or was that Jonathan that called it ghetto physics?
Nope, that was Andrew.
Was that Andrew? Okay.
Yeah. Jonathan sat in the broken chair and just was fine with it.
Okay.
He was like, whatever. And then poor Kat and her bug phobia. She's having a real hard time at this challenge.
I know, and they were like, had the cameras on her where some people were like, oh my gosh, they were probably thinking that she's being a baby. But listen, she's got I felt bad. She's got a phobia about bugs. And if somebody's got a phobia about something, they don't like it, they freak out, they panic.
Yeah. And she was crying.
And they did this, okay, listen, they did this on purpose because they piled horse poo all over by the glamp sites to attract flies.
Right.
And so there's flies all over, bugs all over the tents. She has a phobia. And so she was panicking about it. I was like, this was the producers. This was like, I felt bad for her. This was very evil to do.
Yeah, at first I was like, okay, Kat, this is a little annoying. But then when I saw her crying, and I was like, okay, this is actually really affecting her. And then I felt bad.
She has a legit phobia. And like, it's things like that when, like, Kat, this is why we liked her before. She's genuine. Now, listen, the last couple episodes, I've said she's talking stupid because she's with Dale. And Dale, she's talking so dumb with Dale. So I'm not sticking up with her for her about that. But I did feel bad because she was freaked out about the bugs. It was in her head. She didn't like it. She was uncomfortable. And I felt bad.
And to Dale's credit, which, by the way, I will never like Dale either. Jeremy is far worse in my book than Dale, but Dale also has red flags, and Dale is he always has to be the best at everything. But he actually handled it pretty good. He got her to sit on a chair and put her feet up so that she wasn't on the ground with the bugs, and I thought he handled it pretty good.
He did handle it well. He handled it well. To his credit, like I say, we've established now that Jeremy, in my book, has way overshadowed the dumbness with Dale.
Yes.
Dale is dumb, but I can handle watching him more than Jeremy.
Dale is dumb, but Jeremy has a personality disorder.
He's got a couple disorders.
Speaking of Jeremy, he has an interview, and he says that he has really strong feelings for Bailey, and he can just tell by the way that she looks at him that she really loves him, because you know what? It's never about how he feels for her or what he's doing for her or how he's considering her. It's always about Jeremy.
And he also, are we missing, did you write this down? Are we missing what he said that after, everything they've been through, you mean everything you've put her through?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean, Jeremy? Because what you've been through has all stemmed from your actions.
Yeah.
And your lying
mm-hmm.
and everything. So everything they've been through?
Yeah, but he can't be in the wrong. Nothing can be his fault.
I know.
But it's made them stronger, according to Jeremy, so Bailey's going to agree with that.
Right. She is.
Also going on, Keith misses his family. He does camping with his 2 daughters a lot, so he kind of has a sweet moment with Kathy where he's talking about missing his family, and he tells Kathy she's beautiful, so that was nice. Spencer and Jess, I think they did really well together. They worked good together. They enjoyed it. They made it fun. I still think they're by far the strongest couple there.
Yeah, I think they're cute together.
Yeah, they're cute.
I mean, it is only day 17 or 18, so it's pretty early in anybody's relationship, no matter what. I mean, It seems like we've been watching this for months. But
I know. Oh, my goodness. So then there's a bunch of monkeys in the woods, so they have to evacuate the area, so they don't actually get to finish the challenge, but then they come back the next day and they actually meet the therapist. So did you have anything to share before they meet the therapist, or did you have any thoughts about when they did meet the therapist?
No, we can go right into that. Now they meet the therapist and find out that they've been watched the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gives them her evaluation, and she starts with Keith and Kathy. that they did well, but they're not romantic, which
Mm-hmm.
is not rocket science. We've all known that. It didn't take much. They basically said that while they were glamping. They were talking about, we'll find our person or whatever. So that didn't take a bunch of intelligence to figure that out, but whatever. I know you liked the therapist.
And you didn't really care for her.
I mean, people need therapists, but I don't like know-it-alls. But anyways.
Who was next? Jonathan and Leia, and it was kind of the same thing. Not romantic.
Yeah, it's not.
They did well, but they're not romantic.
Yeah, this is not news. This is not. You don't need a therapist creeping on you to have this news flash. She also said Alex and Andrew didn't feel chemistry with them. And I was like, that's not really a fair assessment. These people, it's been I think she was 18 days. I mean, come on.
I think she was strictly talking about strictly physical chemistry, which I could kind of see where she's coming from because Alex is so awkward and they're always like making things awkward. But I think Alex and Andrew are really cute together. I think they're a good match. So
I think they're a good match too. And yeah, it's because they were laughing a lot. And a lot of that is because Alex is a little awkward. I mean, she's been awkward through this whole thing, just whether it's in an interview or talking to the men that they brought in and stuff. And that's who she is, and Andrew likes her and whatever. So I don't know. I mean, the Dr. Berman or Burmese, whatever her name is. She said
I just called her therapist.
Okay, well, whatever. She did say that. Okay, so then she moved on to Bailey and Jeremy. Then she said they had tons of chemistry.
Physical chemistry. Physical chemistry they have a lot of, but she questioned the other things, which I also see where she's coming from because they are very affectionate with each other physically, but she questions, she pointed out that Jeremy at some point scoffed at Bailey, and I love that she pointed that out.
Well, she said they have tons of chemistry, and you're saying physically, but like when I see Jeremy with Bailey, I feel like it's forced. Like he wants to win this he's thinking in his head $500,000.
Yeah, she really loves me.
She loves me. When I'm done with this $500K, I could probably, as soon as I get off the show, I can give Susie a call. I mean, that's what I picture going through his head. And so they have tons of chemistry. Okay, she sees something different than me. I feel forced chemistry.
Okay, all right.
She did question the rest, which obviously, but whatever.
Yep, she picked up on that, and I think when she made the comment about it's interesting to see who sits on the chair, I think it was after seeing Bailey sit in the broken chair.
Yeah, because that's the only one she was the only one that sat in of the females that sat in the broken chair where the partner did not offer to fix it, to sit in it, or say anything.
Right.
He just let her sit in it.
Yeah.
But then they go to an interview with Jeremy, and just as usual, he proceeds to tell the interviewee that the therapist is wrong. Not that I disagree.
Well, first he tells the therapist that she's wrong.
Yes.
Then in the interview, he talks about how and why she's wrong because, like we said, whatever Jeremy says is correct. Whatever he thinks,
Jeremy's never wrong.
Is correct
because he's never wrong.
Exactly. So, and it's always centered around him.
And then she went to Kat and Dale. Did she say Dale needs to be a hero? Did she
yes.
kind of use those words?
She said true. There's a thing called the hero complex.
And to Dale's credit, he said he didn't disagree.
To Dale's credit, I noticed that.
He didn't disagree, and then she kind of moved on from there. They talked a little bit about it. Then she went to Spencer and Jess. They did well, and basically the only thing she kind of said there was they're going really fast, or maybe they should slow down. But she, other than that, I don't think she had anything negative to say about
Spencer and Jess. Right.
Which brings me to question. Then they drop down that this Dr. Berman therapist, she gets to decide the winner by her evaluation. Mm-hmm. Now, I know that you like these, but I, again, didn't think that was fair. I don't think that's fair to decide the winner off of her evaluation.
Yeah, she's a relationship expert.
Is she?
Yeah. That's her credentials.
I know they're her credentials, but...
And they're unknowingly being watched, so it's unbiased, what she's watching.
But you're seeing... these people are only like day 17, 18. You're seeing such a small window, and I'm gonna
but you can tell a lot by this challenge that happened.
Well, she deems Kat and Dale the winner. So, what are your thoughts about that?
So I understood that because Dale did handle Kat's situation really well.
Yeah, but she also
they had the most obstacles to overcome.
Well, but she also said that when he gets in a situation where he's not going to be able to be a hero, or he's going to be helpless, he's going to get angry and frustrated, and that was going to be a problem.
Or that he's just going to shut down.
Right, and that would be a problem. So, like, how did they...
Well, I think she was just kind of saying that, like, as a warning, you know, you have this hero trait, and there is a shadow to that, usually.
Okay. Did you think Kat and Dale should have won?
I probably, if I were to pick the winner, I would have picked Jess and Spencer. But I understand why she chose Kat and Dale.
Okay. Well, now Kat and Dale have immunity.
What did you think? You disagreed with their choice?
I did.
Who did you think should have won?
And so did Wells, by the way.
Yeah, you and Wells are on the same page. Who did you think should have won?
Well, she didn't have anything negative to say about Spencer and Jess, and I think everybody knows that they're kind of they're the solid couple here, and they're the ones that are. If anybody's going to last I don't know whether they'll last, but they'll last the longest. I don't see anybody even lasting past Paradise. Maybe Andrew and Alex. We'll see. I don't know.
I think Andrew and Alex will last past Paradise.
Maybe, but they're pretty strong. So that's who I thought was going to win, especially when she didn't have anything like negative to say about them. So
right.
Well,
let us know in the comments who you think should have won.
Well, now that she's deemed Dale the winner, now he's got an ego from winning.
That's true.
Now it has gone straight to his head.
Yep.
Now he's telling people they're the strongest couple. Now he's in his head. He's got proof because, I mean, the relationship therapist just picked them. They won.
Right.
So there's the downsides to now Dale getting a big head again, just like he plays in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Even though he has never
stepped on the actual game field.
Correct. So, yeah. The only upside of this is at least Kat's realistic that she still doesn't want to get engaged at the end of this.
Right.
So
they did win a nice date. They had a nice time on their date. So moving on, we get into the Spencer and Jess drama. And basically, the sum of it is that Spencer has a little bit stronger feelings than Jess. They both have very strong feelings. He's definitely, like, in love with her. She's more, like, falling. She's not quite there yet. He wants to move in together. He wants to have kids within 2 years. And she just needs to, like, slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if there was really... I wouldn't even call it drama. It was just like... I mean...
it wasn't really drama, but they played it out that it was going to be drama in the last preview.
They did. They showed it like they had a crack in their... I mean, like, this all normal stuff. It's been 18 days. I mean, we're not even on the 3-week mark here. And he is talking about moving in, and it's a little bit fast for her, obviously. He does understand, and is just going to go at her pace. She wants to move at a slower pace, slower timeline.
Yeah, basically. And then they're kind of like talking to their roommates about it and whatnot, and then they come back together, and Spencer basically says he's happy to move at her pace, and then that bug is squashed, basically.
Yeah. Yep. They work it out. They talk it out, and it's good. At some point, they must have interviewed Jeremy, because I have in my notes that he really asserts how right he is.
Okay.
And I don't know what that was about. I just had it written down, but I'm so sick,
probably
I'm so sick of Jeremy
because they're talking about they have a winner, so now they're talking about voting. Okay. So it's probably about voting and how Bailey's gonna vote for, with him, because she always does. She just does what Jeremy says.
Yeah, and she says that they run a clip to her, and she's like, do you want me to vote with you? Do you want me to vote? And she says it to him a couple times. It's like, and he even at one point he tells her,
talking to your mic.
At one point he tells her, well, this is who I'm voting for. You can kind of vote for. You can vote for who you want to. Just the way he said it. It's just like she's following him around. Like,
yeah.
I mean, she's hard to watch. He's hard to watch.
Yeah, he's definitely the hardest to watch.
Yeah. So, anyways. Alex and Andrew move forward also.
Yeah,
they take another step. They both kind of say they're falling in love with each other.
Then they take it even further and say that they are in love. I don't know if you caught that. It was kind of like whispered.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So
I thought they were being cute.
So take that, Dr. Berman.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, are we skipping over Keith being?
That was next on my list.
Okay.
Next, Keith is trying to quit.
Well,
Keith. Keith.
Yeah, so this started when they were glamping because he's like, if I go home now, this is the weekend he usually goes he goes camping with his family, but apparently there's a weekend camping that he's going to be missing while he's in paradise here.
Yeah.
So he's thinking if he just leaves now, he could go camping with them, and I'm just like, and he's homesick. He misses. Listen, Keith. At this point, I don't know how they're going to play out this 500K. At the end, I'm going to predict is kind of what they showed in the preview. You have to pick 500K or love. Listen, Keith, if you stay to you got a couple days left.
Right.
If it's possible,
suck it up, Keith. Suck it up.
Yeah, take 500K and then take your family camping.
And I wrote that Kathy is going to be mad about this because Kathy wants the money. And then later on, we do find out that Kathy is mad about it.
He goes, before the roast before the voting, he's just literally going around to people saying, I want to go home. I need to go home.
Yeah.
Like, you can vote for me. I need to go home.
Right. What a dummy.
It was like, Jonathan's working the crowd trying not to go home. So is Kathy.
Yeah.
And then you got Keith counteracting over there telling people he wants to go home.
Yeah, it's just so dumb.
But, the people that were kind of leaning towards voting for Jonathan kind of talk to Keith and talk him off the ledge there.
Right.
Mainly the girls, Bailey, Alex, and Jess.
Yes. Also, I had to note that Leia, she's kind of a dummy, but kind of in an endearing way. She's kind of grown on me. You know what I mean? Like, she's just kind of a dummy, but that's who she is, and she means well. And as a person on the show, she's just kind of grown on me.
She's grown on me too. Yeah, so, she wants to stay. Her and Jonathan want to stay. Keith is the only one going around. At one point, he even says, I'm voting myself off. I'm voting for myself to go off.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then he doesn't even end up voting for himself. Keith.
I know. There's one episode left, Keith. You can't hang in there to see if you can maybe win 500K, and then you can see and do stuff with your what's wrong with you, Keith?
Yeah. In the midst of this, I have another quote from Jeremy. Quote, I'm voting for Keith for personal reasons. From Jeremy. Jeremy hates the Goldens.
What is his reasoning behind that?
We have no clue. They have not elaborated on that. They've just showed some random clips of him hating on the Goldens and saying that they're annoying and that he's voting for Keith for personal reasons, and that's all we've got. But I think it's probably just because if something annoys Jeremy, it's wrong and they need to go, and it's Jeremy's world.
I can't believe Jeremy hasn't been on the chopping block thus far.
That's because he's got everyone manipulated to like him.
Yeah, I know. They're still
because he's a victim.
They're still in the Jeremy cult.
I know. It's sickening.
Yeah,
makes me sick.
So you can tell. So they get down to the voting, but then Keith kind of has a change of heart. Now he's like, "Well, now I wish I wouldn't have told some people that I wanted to go. I wanted to go home." Yeah, Keith, why were you doing that? And then after Bailey, Alex, and Jess talked to him, then he kind of was like, "Yeah, I should just."
I do have purpose here,
Keith. So Keith has put himself on the chopping block. So it's going to be between Kathy and Keith and Jonathan and Leia at this point.
Yeah.
And you can tell some of the couples they're not voting the same. Like, I think a couple of the guys are voting different, a couple of the girls are voting different, and I kind of suspected. I was like, what happens if there's going to be a tie? Well, sure enough, they get down to the voting, and it's tied.
Yep. So in the case of a tie, since Dale and Kat won and the men have the roses, Dale gets to choose who gets the last rose.
I did not like that at all. I thought they were going to revote because they've kind of modeled this after Survivor in a way.
Yeah,
with the voting and the stuff like that. So I was like, oh, they're going to have them plead their cases and do a revote. But they didn't.
I suppose if you're going to have winners for the challenges, it comes with some unexpected perks sometimes.
Yeah. Did you think that was fair that Dale got to pick? Dumb Dale.
I don't know. They won, so it's kind of dumb how it's just set up. Yeah.
I mean, that just gave Dale, whoever he had it out for, it gave him like the upper. Well, first of all, they shouldn't have won.
Mm-hmm.
So he shouldn't have been in that position of power. And you know what? You put like somebody like Dale or Jeremy in a position of power. I mean, he already had an ego because he won. Then they doubled down and gave him the choice of who to kick off.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to be able to fit his head through the door at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, in his head, he's a legendary NFL player. Now he's got power.
Okay. Well, anyway, he chooses.
At least it wasn't Jeremy.
That's true. He chooses to keep Keith, so that means that Jonathan and Leia are going home. I had a note that I'm actually going to miss Jonathan and Leia. I think they're kind of funny.
I am too. They made it this far. I was happy for them. I was hoping to see them go a little farther. I'd much rather see. There's a couple other couples on there I'd much rather see go home before Jonathan and Leia, even though they're friends. I don't even care at this point. I don't care.
Me neither. I don't care either.
Because these relationships never last, so it does not bother me. I could care less. None of these relationships are probably going to last. They never do. Okay, so now we're going into day 19.
Yes.
And they're going to have a new challenge. So they send them home, and what are we down to? 5 couples?
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
I think I could be. I'd have to count them, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So now we're at day 19, and they're gonna go right into another challenge called
Sharp Opinions.
Yep.
Relationship test. By the way, I have a quote from you, Mumsy.
Okay, let's hear it.
He's still sunburnt, from Mumsy in reference to Jeremy. He is still beet red, you guys. The guy has never heard of sunscreen. He just repeatedly keeps burning himself over and over and over again, and he wonders why he looks like he's in his 40s.
Okay, he's sunburnt. He's got this shaved job on his stomach going that I don't know where he got the idea or how he thinks it looks good on him. The combination, neither looks good individually, but together looks hideous.
And also with his personality.
His personality is what makes all of this terrible. This is why we can say this. If he had a nice personality, I could maybe bypass this stuff.
Right.
But his personality has made me disgust him, and everything that just amplifies the sunburn and the shave job just amplifies his personality.
Yes. So this relationship test is basically they are asked questions like, whose childish behaviors is going to be a turnoff for their partner, and then they have to go back and put a dagger in the back of the mannequin of who they would like to vote for. So it's a pretty cutthroat.
Well, okay, you like these challenges.
I like this challenge because it brought the drama.
Well, it brought the drama.
And I was like, who are they gonna pick?
I know, but like Andrew felt bad on the one. He's like,
I felt bad for Andrew.
He took it personally. These people, they're taking it personally. These people are going to need so much therapy when they leave. Not by Dr. Brennan.
Yeah, but they signed up for this. They signed up to be on TV.
I know they did, but that's just a mean stunt. You're like saying things about people, and then if you get the most things, like, I don't care if they signed up for it. It's hurtful. The producers are evil.
I liked it. I love their evilness.
It did cause some drama, but like all it did in the end is like everybody had some hurt feelings over it.
But they had a winner.
It's mean. They did have a winner.
I also want to note that Kat and Bailey, as they were putting daggers in the mannequins, they just did what Dale and Jeremy did. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did notice that. And then there was a couple questions there that I thought Jeremy, because they're in the Jeremy cult, they didn't do enough stabs on Jeremy. But like there was a couple questions
stabs,
there.
But he should have had more.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he got the stabs about like who is predicted to cheat on somebody. Was that the question?
Yeah.
I didn't write that down. I should have wrote that down.
He was so butthurt about it, and he was like, "I've never cheated on anyone in my life." Blah blah blah. And then Andrew pointed out to him, "Yeah, but it's people's perception of you. It's not what you've actually done." Thank you, Andrew, for pointing that out to him.
Yeah, because he of course couldn't be wrong, and he was really. And then he had Bailey upset about it too, and she's like, "Yeah," she was just agreeing with him. Again. At least they didn't win. It was so Andrew and Alex, because he was pretty hurt about the one. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I felt bad for Andrew, but
he took it personal. But they did win.
But they won, so then they were happy, and then they seemed good.
Yep.
I was happy that they won a challenge together.
They won a challenge. A lot of people had hurt feelings over this one. Again, it's mean. Yes, it caused some drama. It was totally done on purpose. I get it, but still doing this. Some of the things they do to these people, it's just brutal.
It is.
I mean,
it's brutal.
I mean, jeez.
It is. So then we find out, well, Alex and Andrew are safe, and then we find out that this rose ceremony is going to be the last rose ceremony, and they're going to be voting out 2 couples.
2 couples. So that'll be down to, if we did our calculations correct, for the finale, it'll be down to 3, I guess.
3 couples.
They insinuated, now wrapping this up, we're to the preview now, and they kind of insinuated that they're going to, whoever gets to the end here is going to have to pick money or the 500K, which is, I kind of predicted all along.
Yes,
I don't know
we
how
predicted that
yeah.
way back whenever they introduced the money.
Yeah, because it sounds kind of too good to like, oh, the strongest couple's going to win and we're going to have 500K out. It's not going to be that easy.
Right. And then we caught on to their wording way back in the beginning when they introduced the money too, that you'll have the opportunity to win up to $500,000. So we knew that there was going to be some shenanigans about that.
Yeah, so we'll see what kind of contest. Now, don't get me wrong. Just because I didn't like the contest that they had today, I do like the contest. I do like that they brought this into Paradise and they're doing contests now. I think it brings a little flair to it. I think it's a little bit exciting.
Here's what they should do.
There's some mean contests, though.
They should keep the contest. So for future Bachelor in Paradise is what they should do. They should keep the contests, but then also mix that with having new people coming in.
I'm sure they'll take your advice.
They really should. Because that's what we're missing from Old Paradise is the new people coming in and wreaking havoc on their relationships the whole season. Instead of them getting cemented to someone because now it's a competition.
Well, I don't know if that would work, though, because you're bringing new people in. They're just going to get roadblocked because now they've got this competition. They are cemented together. So I don't know if that would work.
But the competition shouldn't be for money. It should be for some other incentive.
Yeah.
For immunity, maybe.
Yeah, well, we'll see how this one ends and see how they make some changes. I do like the competitions they brought in. Now, that being said, the 2 competitions they had today, I wasn't a big fan of.
They were my favorite ones.
But Sasha loved them here. They were her favorite. I thought they were a little brutal, but I guess they signed up for it, like Sasha said. Now they're in the preview, and Keith now is going to vote himself off again. Now now they didn't get. Now
this guy is so wishy-washy.
Yep.
About whether he wants to even be on this show.
Yep. They ended the show with they're getting ready to vote again, and Keith now is voting himself again. Now he's got Kathy on board. Did you catch that?
Yeah, she says it's the right thing to do. I'm probably going to vote for myself. It's the right thing to do.
Is it the right thing to do because they think these couples are going to last? These couples are not going to last. There is no quote right thing. Okay, there's no quote right thing to do when this.
Maybe they're thinking that like Jess and Spence will pick love over money in the end.
The people, it hasn't even been 3 weeks, so you're gonna go. They're gonna go all out and go home because these people have potential.
Well, here's the deal:
it's 19 days.
How are they going to somehow deter these couples from choosing money and then just getting back together after the show? How are they going to deter that is my question.
I don't know. I mean, that we're just
because you have to have some sort of deterrent for it, because otherwise that's just like that super obvious thing to do, a win-win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in all fairness, we don't know exactly how the finale is going to play out. I mean, maybe they will. I mean, they kind of insinuated it's going to be the love or the money, but we don't know for sure. That's how it's going to be. So
that's true.
So we'll have to discuss that after. But if that is the case, take the money. Take the money all day long.
Well,
your relationship's not going to last. Maybe you can catch up in the future, like you said. What's to stop them from dating after another month?
Right.
With your 500K.
Right.
But we'll see how this works out. I don't know what they have planned up their sleeve, but they got something, because they always do. The producers, I mean.
All right. Should we wrap it up here?
Yeah, let's wrap it up, and we got the finale next week, and we'll be back to see how this all shook out.
Yes. Come back for the finale. All right. Peace out. Bye.
Sign out.